Schweitzer is just the sort of person that we need in the world. He had a global mind. He had a mind that had no place for ideology. He was just a remarkable human being. And I suppose there are still some of those among us, but we need more people in the public eye of that kind. I am Patti Marxsen, American, and I'm 74 years old. I was 14 years old when Schweitzer died in 1965. That was the decade of assassinations. He was always there. He was part of the world that we knew. Helene Breslau was certainly the perfect partner for him. She had a bicycle club with friends, and they invited Albert Schweitzer to join them. He was a very handsome young man and busy in his own right, doing his preaching and working at the seminary as a teacher. They developed this very interesting friendship that was very deep and profound, but not exactly the sort of crazy, passionate relationship you might think of today with two young people. But she became really essential to him, I would say, in many ways. Her confidence in him from the beginning, her interest in his work, her helping him with his books. And she loved music. She had musical talent. She did a rigorous nursing course in Frankfurt. I would say there would not be this grand docteur, this great man, Albert Schweitzer, without that relationship in his life. She had to realize that this handsome young man who was very devoted to her had no interest in marriage or children or living in a house in one town or any of that sort of thing. So she was very supportive in the beginning. So I don't think it was the easiest relationship she could have found. They lived apart at times because the hospital required his presence. I think Helen never considered leaving Albert Schweitzer because he had this massive priority of building a hospital in how many thousands of miles away. Of course, it was difficult. There was tension. She did feel abandoned when he went back to Africa in the early 20s. But when she was able to go in 1930, she felt so honored to be there. The whole hospital staff was out to greet them, and she felt that this is our hospital. She gave him a lot of support for that initial project. She was the only nurse around. She was the anesthesia nurse. Helen was 110% involved in the founding of the project. Helene Schweitzer was never seeking celebrity. I think Schweitzer enjoyed celebrity, and he performed as a famous person. He fed the media, so to speak, and I feel strongly that she should be viewed as the co-founder, at least of the first phase of the hospital in Andende. No, I kind of miss the Schweitzer world, actually. Oh, of course I think of Albert Schweitzer now. Partly in his Nobel Peace Prize speech, he makes a rather large statement about the dangers of power. And we see this in the world. I won't speak for the world, I don't need to, because the person who's in power in my world, in America, is kind of doing what he can to influence the rest of the world. And so, I go back to this more sensible, gentle, spiritual, decent person that Albert Schweitzer was, and all that he wanted to do in the world. I wish we had a few of those sorts of persons around. We have very few.